Hey there, time travelers. In our last video about time travel paradoxes, many of you were fascinated by the grandfather paradox. And it's no wonder. It's one of the most intriguing and challenging paradoxes that the idea of traveling to the past presents us with. Is it possible to travel to the past and change history without creating impossible paradoxes? What would happen if you could prevent your grandparents from meeting? Would you still exist? Today we are going to delve into the grandfather paradox, exploring its implications and the possible solutions that have been proposed. Get ready for a mind-blowing journey through the labyrinths of time and discover how this paradox tests our understanding of reality and destiny. If you want to continue exploring the fascinating mysteries of time travel, don't miss our video about the 10 most mind-blowing paradoxes. I assure you that they will leave you thinking. To understand the grandfather paradox, let's do a little thought experiment. Imagine that you have a time machine and you decide to travel to the past, to a time before your grandfather met your grandmother. You find your grandfather and for some reason, you decide to prevent them from meeting. But what would happen then? But this seemingly simple act creates a paradox that has baffled scientists and philosophers for decades. If you stop your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, one of your parents would never be born. And if one of your parents was never born, neither would you. But if you don't exist, how could you have traveled back in time to kill your grandfather in the first place? This is a real-time mess. This is the essence of the grandfather paradox, a logical contradiction that arises from the idea of changing the past. It begs the question, is time travel really possible, or is it just an impossible fantasy? The grandfather paradox presents us with a serious problem. How can we change the past without generating impossible contradictions? One possible solution is the many worlds interpretation, an idea that seems straight out of science fiction, but that some scientists take very seriously. According to this interpretation, every time we make a decision or a quantum event occurs, the universe splits into multiple branches or parallel realities. It's as if the universe branches out into an infinite tree of possibilities. In one of those branches, you travel to the past and prevent your grandparents from meeting. In another branch, you don't. And in another branch, maybe you decide to do something completely different. Every possibility becomes a reality in a parallel universe. In this way, the many worlds interpretation avoids the grandfather paradox. Although in one branch of the universe you disappear, in other branches you continue to exist, since your grandparents met and your parents were born. The many worlds interpretation raises the possibility of infinite parallel realities. What do you think? Do you think there are other universes where things happen differently? Leave us your comments below and don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying this exploration of the grandfather paradox. In the next chapter, we will explore another possible solution to the grandfather paradox, the self-consistency principle. The many worlds interpretation offers us a possible solution to the grandfather paradox, but it is not the only one. Another interesting theory is the self-consistency principle, which proposes that the universe has a way of protecting itself from temporal paradoxes. Another proposed resolution to the grandfather paradox is the Novikov self-consistency principle, named after physicist Igor Dmitrievich Novikov. This principle has been a cornerstone in modern theories about time travel. This principle suggests that the laws of physics somehow conspire to prevent any action that creates a paradox. In other words, the universe has intrinsic mechanisms that ensure that events unfold in a consistent manner. In essence, this principle proposes that while time travel might be possible, the universe has inherent safeguards to maintain consistency. These safeguards act like a safety net, ensuring that history is not significantly altered. If you were to travel to the past with the intention of killing your grandfather, something would always prevent you from succeeding. You might encounter insurmountable obstacles that would divert you from your goal. Perhaps your gun would jam, you would trip at the crucial moment, or some other seemingly improbable event would occur, ensuring that the timeline remains consistent. These events, although they may seem like coincidences, are actually the universe protecting itself. The Novikov self-consistency principle takes the idea of self-consistency a step further. It suggests that the past is not only fixed, but that any attempt to change it will fail or lead to a result that is consistent with the established timeline. It's as if the universe had a protection mechanism that prevents temporal paradoxes from occurring. If you try to travel to the past to kill your grandfather, something will stop you. Maybe the gun will jam, Or maybe you will trip at the crucial moment. According to Novikov, the future is already written, and any action you take in the past will only contribute to creating the future that already exists. It's like you're stuck in a time loop where your actions are predetermined. The Novikov self-consistency principle presents us with a fascinating, but also disturbing, view of time travel. Does this mean that we have no free will if we travel to the past? Are we doomed to repeat history over and over again? In the next chapter, we will explore the implications of these theories for our understanding of free will and destiny. Don't miss it. The grandfather paradox and the theories that try to solve it lead us to a fundamental question. If we could travel through time, would we really have free will? Could we change the past at will? Or would we be destined to follow a predetermined path no matter what we did? Some believe that the principle of self-consistency implies that the future is already written and that our actions in the past are predestined. Others argue that, even if we were to travel through time, our decisions would still be free and could have unpredictable consequences. Is destiny an immutable force, or can we change the course of history with our actions? This is one of the great philosophical debates that arise from the grandfather paradox. The relationship between time travel, free will, and destiny is a fascinating enigma. Is time a straight line, or a tree with infinite branches? In the next chapter, we will explore different models of time and their implications for time travel. The grandfather paradox leads us to question the very nature of time. Is time a straight line, where the past, present, and future are fixed and immutable? Or is it more like a tree, with multiple branches representing different possibilities and alternative futures? If time is linear, changing the past would be impossible, since any alteration would create a paradox. But if time is branched, each decision we make could create a new branch in the tree of time, leading to a parallel universe with a different history, creating an alternate reality where things happen differently. The many worlds interpretation, which we saw earlier, supports the idea of a branched time, where each possibility becomes reality in a parallel universe. But what implications would a branched time have for time travel? Could we jump between different branches of time, exploring alternative realities? Or would we be stuck in our own timeline, unable to change the past in any significant way? The structure of time is an enigma that science is still trying to unravel. Is it linear or branched? What implications does this have for the possibility of time travel? In the next chapter, we will explore how string theory could help us answer these questions and better understand the nature of time and space. String theory not only makes us reflect on temporal paradoxes and parallel universes, but also has profound implications for our understanding of fundamental physics. If string theory is correct, it could revolutionize our view of the universe and the laws that govern it. We could finally unify gravity with the other fundamental forces, such as electromagnetism and nuclear forces, into a single theory of everything. This would allow us to understand phenomena that currently escape our understanding, such as the nature of black holes, the origin of the universe, and even dark matter and dark energy. Furthermore, string theory could open the door to new technologies and possibilities that today seem impossible. Can you imagine being able to manipulate gravity or travel through extra dimensions? String theory invites us to dream big and imagine a future where science fiction becomes reality. String theory has the potential to change our view of the universe and our place in it. But how does this theory affect our perception of reality and of time itself? In the next chapter, we will explore how string theory challenges our preconceived notions about time and causality. String theory not only challenges us to rethink the laws of physics, but also leads us to question our own perception of reality and of time itself. If time travel were possible, how would this affect our idea of past, present, and future? Could we change the past without altering the present? Would we really have free will if our actions were limited by the laws of physics and causality? The grandfather paradox shows us that time travel raises profound questions about the nature of reality and our ability to influence it. Is time an arrow that moves inexorably forward? Or is it a river with multiple currents and eddies? Are we masters of our own destiny? Or are we trapped in a time loop where everything is predetermined? String theory invites us to reflect on our existence and our place in the universe. What does it mean to be human in a cosmos where time and reality could be much more complex than we imagine? In the next chapter, we will conclude our journey through string theory and reflect on its future and its impact on our search for the ultimate truth about the universe. The grandfather paradox and the theories surrounding it show us that time travel is much more than just a science fiction fantasy. They are a challenge to our understanding of reality and force us to question the limits of the possible. Although we cannot yet build a time machine, science and philosophy continue to explore the possibilities and implications of time travel. Who knows? Maybe one day we will discover a way to travel to the past or the future without creating paradoxes or altering the course of history. Or perhaps, as some theories suggest, time travel is simply impossible, an impassable barrier that protects the integrity of the universe. Whatever the truth, the grandfather paradox and the debate about time travel will continue to fuel our imagination and our curiosity for many years to come. They remind us that the universe is a vast and mysterious place, full of secrets to be discovered. And so concludes our journey through the grandfather paradox. I hope you enjoyed this exploration of the limits of time and causality. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the mysteries of the universe together. If you want to delve even deeper into the subject of time travel, don't miss our video on the 10 most mind-blowing paradoxes. I assure you, they will leave you reeling. Until next time, explorers of the cosmos.